How was it growing up with a basketball dad? You know, and not just.
I just remember in the car he was like, "Yeah, I didn't see anyone out there today that was a Division I player." And
Okay. Do you think athletes get a bad reputation in the dating world, especially on the college campus?
for sure.
Would you let your daughter date an athlete?
At Boise, I got blood, sweat, tears in this program that I feel like because there were times when I almost did not stick with it, and just having my mom there for me was a big part of me kind of pushing through those years where I didn't think I even belonged here anymore, and especially getting all that hate through some of those tough times. I was like, do I really think this is worth it, and can I break through? Like, will Leon ever believe like that I'm that dude, like that I could be that dude?
Y'all know me. Y'all know I'm chosen, and I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, the Boise State. I'm calling him the Mountain West MVP of the year. The shooter from Boise, three-point line. He goes crazy. Mr. Max?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. That was a great intro.
I tried. I practiced that in the mirror.
I like it.
I gotta work on it. I'm gonna get right. So I gotta be a generic interviewer, you know what I'm saying? I gotta ask these questions. Okay. What got you into basketball, man?
I mean, it was probably just growing up in Spokane, watching Gonzaga win all those games, and they had a lot of NBA players go through when I was growing up, watching some of those shooters. So it kind of inspired me to want to be a Division I basketball player.
Okay. I feel like that's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Me included. But not everybody gets there.
True.
Not everybody gets there. So you have to be different. There has to be something special about you that got you there. So is there a player when you were younger that was like, this is my favorite player? I want to be just like that player, or I want to pattern my game after that player? Or
Yeah, I mean, I got to watch Steph Curry play Gonzaga in the NCAA tournament, and that was the year like he made his run. LeBron went and watched him in the Elite Eight and all those.
Oh, wow,
deals.
Davidson.
So yeah, Gonzaga was up 10, I think, with 5 minutes left, and that's when he started going crazy. And there was one play in particular where they missed a three. Davidson missed a three. I think they were down 2 with 40 seconds left. A Gonzaga player goes for the rebound, a Davidson player goes for the rebound, and the Davidson guy goes just a little bit harder, grabs the ball, kicks it out to Curry. He comes running in, hits a three to get to 40, and the rest is history for him. But yeah, just growing up watching stuff like that.
so was that like a sweet sour game for you? Because you were obviously rooting for Gonzaga. You're like,
No, straight sour. It's terrible. It's terrible. But nobody knew Curry would be that good yet. So
yeah, nobody saw it coming, and it's crazy that. You know, everyone that played basketball knows this. Those drills where you dive for the ball are like terrible. Like the set screens drills are not a good time.
no, it's not what you want to be doing. in
And it's so
practice,
funny that we've always taught, the coaches always tell us, yo, this will change the game, this will change the game. And then you see it like a moment that you just replayed, like that kid like went harder in that one split second.
Exactly. Yep.
Saved the game, kicked it to Curry, 3 cash. Okay, so favorite player growing up was Curry?
Yeah, I'd say Curry, but I was blessed. I got to play for John Stockton for about 5 years, or maybe a little less than that, 3 years, and he taught me how to kind of be a point guard when I was 4th, 5th grade, so I didn't know how much of that I took in, but yeah, it was really cool being able to play for one of the best point guards of all time.
Playing for John Stockton, he must have been aggressive, because I know he come from the area where they was clotheslining people for fun.
Oh,
so.
he's a killer. Yeah, he's a killer. I mean, he's a 5'11" white guy who survived in the league for 30 years.
Man.
So.
He just gets like absolutely decapitated.
That's the usual, though, back then. It was much more physical game. They let stuff go back then.
And I'm cool off of it, so it's amazing to hear you recant that. How was it growing up with a basketball dad? You know, and not just any basketball dad, because a lot of parents, every dad's kind of a basketball person, or like whatever sport that they play when they're younger, and they're always hard on their kids, especially sons. But yours has like that credentials. How was that? Like, did you feel pressure as a kid, or?
Not really pressure. I would say like it's just a lot of up and down, like watching his teams, like especially when he came to Boise State, it was even harder just because he was the head coach. So watching those losses and him come back and be like just so locked in on how he could win and stuff, and seeing those emotions from winning and losing, just that's what I wanted to do. I want to be a coach when I'm older, just because that's what I'm so used to. And yeah, just being around that all the time, it made me love basketball. But it's definitely hard watching the losses.
Okay, how did you also have the same experience of that like long car ride after a game with the dad. Did you dread that as well?
Yeah, I have a couple stories that I could recall just from. I remember one year I was playing on a team out of Boise, and I was playing up with some of my buddies, and I played this game. And it was one of my worst games, I think, in the summer, and I was probably only in maybe 8th or 9th grade around there. And I just remember in the car he was like, "Yeah, I didn't see anyone out there today that was a Division I player," and I just remember that was a stab to my heart. Like, it was the worst thing I could have heard. So the next game I came out, and I think it was my best game I've ever played. I got fouled on a 3, made all 3 free throws, sent it to overtime, hit a half-court game winner.
Oh, snap.
It was like the best game of my life. And then I'm like, yeah, you see one now? Like,
oh, you took a personal.
Oh, for sure. That was I took a personal moment for sure. I was like, yeah, he's never gonna say that again. But no, there was a couple moments that he said something like that. Another one was in middle school. I think we lost a game to my good friend Paul Pennington. You know who that is?
Nah, but
all right. So he's one of my buddies who I grew up with in Boise, and we were kind of had a rivalry. He went to Boise High or Boise Middle School, and I went to East Junior High or something like that. This was a junior high deal, and I just remember we lost to him in like just a game that meant nothing. And he in the car at home, he's like, "I don't know how you lose that. Like, you're not a Division I player if you're losing that game." And then we got a rematch in the district championship to win city or whatever it was, like a middle school game. Yeah. I took that so personal. We won by like 30. Got it back.
It just kept like appearing in your head.
Yeah.
You're not a D1 player.
Literally.
Wouldn't let that happen to me though. Hey yo.
I wouldn't let that happen to me.
Yo, relax, Dad. Hold on.
Exactly.
Yo, that's so funny to me. Like that. Everyone has the same experiences. Like it's like the awkward car ride with your dad, and you're like, bro, I don't even want to hear what you got to say. Like
exactly.
Whatever the coaches say is already bad, but you just know when you see your dad, like you about to get hit with elite play-by-play breakdown of film, first take, and then it comes from your dad with obviously the credentials, so it even hurts even more. Did like your mom ever give like a side eye to him? Like,
I mean, imagine getting that talk when you're on this team. Like it's a completely different thing. Like, oh, you're gonna cost me my job. You suck. I mean, I don't know if he ever said that, but like,
yeah,
there were times in my life where I'm like, damn, yeah. This is for his job. I gotta hoop.
It's a lot of pressure, and it's so amazing to hear you talk about it from a middle school perspective, because a lot of kids, especially if you are hoopers, sports athletes, it's like the end of the world for us. Like that's like our world. Like especially as the game. So it hits us so much harder. For sure. So the pressure is on. Like we put more pressure on than everybody else, including our dads. Mm-hmm. And you find a lot about yourself in that moment. Like I'm sure that event that you like brought up even now is like, yo, I know now that I can take criticism and I'll be ready for the moment. I know I'm not gonna fold like a lawn chair. Like I'll be ready to be executed.
I mean, this was 10 years ago, and I remember it like it was yesterday. So that tells you something right there.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I had the same experience like in high school. Like one of my homies, freshman basketball team, we were like undefeated in the freshman league. Long Beach Poly was undefeated. We had a solid team. Bro, we lost by like 10, and I was so hot. I bet money. I bet Chipotle on the game.
That's illegal.
To like bet I bet Chipotle as a family. They're my family.
Oh, okay.
So my friends was like, we'll get you guys Chipotle, win or lose, and I was so devastated. Like I was so hot. I didn't want to talk to nobody, and my teammates were like joking and laughing. Like I was like, bro, don't talk to me, bro. That's interesting to hear. So you get the D1 scholarship. Like how was opening the letter to get the D1 offers, like your first D1 offer?
That was great, but I walked on to Boise. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I walked on to Boise. I had I probably had 10, 15 offers, but I just always wanted to play for my dad, and I thought that was the best choice for me. I could have gone to San Diego, like Dartmouth. It was a long time ago, so I don't know all the offers, but I just knew Boise's where I wanted to be, and it took me a little longer to break into the lineup. I thought I would have played more by my sophomore, junior year, but it took me 3 or 4 years. So
how, like I said, how was that experience? And I especially, the coach actually being your dad, and there's obviously a mixed baggage because the critics, everyone's going to be like, oh, you're only here because of your dad. You only got this spot because of your dad. And then on the flip side, right, I'm a mama's boy. I don't know what y'all felt. I'm a mama's boy, but I could like assume that my mom would kind of be looking at my dad like, dang, he can't even get no playing time. Like we can't get anything. Like side eye. Like he's not good enough to at least have some minutes to try. So it's like critiquing from the inside and then out. Like, how was that like balancing?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think my problem was never getting on the floor. It was more like getting that starter minutes, like where you can really make a difference. Not a guy where you come in, if you make a three, you stay in. If you miss, you're getting pulled. It was more of I feel like I could really be out there 30, 35 minutes, So, but there was definitely those days where I would go to lunch with my mom after a game that I didn't play as much in as I thought I should have. And I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I feel like I could be doing more for the team right now. And I truly believe that, and I still believe that to this day. I think I could have contributed more to some of those teams, but I stuck it out, and obviously I think it's worth it now, just all the success we're having and we're about to have this year. So I'm really looking forward to it.
That's amazing, and because I've talked to multiple D1 athletes. A lot of you guys are my friends off camera. My sister was a D1 rower at Cal Berkeley. My cousin played D1 baseball at San Diego State, and it's always interesting when I talk to athletes, and what separates a lot of you guys, especially in the college level, because everyone's talented, right, that made it to the D1 college level. It's the mindset, and you find out if you really love the sport or not. That's what everyone's told me. Like, in college, you find out if you really love the sport or not, because there'll become a moment in time where you're challenged. And things don't go your way, right? Like, you feel like you should get more playing time. I know a lot of other athletes couldn't resonate with that, but they pushed it through. And you had a breakout huge year last year, but that year doesn't come about without the years of the grind and staying humble and no, my time is coming. I'm gonna keep going. I won't quit, because it's so easy to quit. And once you quit, it's over.
Yep.
So that's oh man, that's big, bro. I really respect that. Like, I'm serious. Like, that is huge to especially come on from a walk-on spot. And especially, how did you keep your confidence, too? I want to ask that, too. Like, how did you keep your confidence, especially when this is – and I saw Amon Shepard kind of break this down on a show before, a clip of him. He was like, people think that you can just walk into an NBA game and just be hot. Like, somebody just calls you up, hit a three. We need you to hit a three immediately. And you've been sitting on the bench for 15 minutes. How is it, maintaining your confidence and even kind of being ready, even though you're not hot, like you didn't take the shots?
Yeah, I think it's like 70% mental to 30% physical. Just like Leon always says that, like it's more your mental than it is how you're feeling. Like, I just remember one of those years I came out, I started 1 for, I think it was 24 from 3, just because I was so messed up mentally. And I would come in the game, I would shoot probably 1 3 a game, miss, come out of the game. It just felt like I was stuck in a loop, So going through that really taught me that you cannot dwell on that last game. You got to come out with new mentality and just lock in. Just because if you let those other games affect your next game, it's going to be really bad for you, and it's just going to keep compounding on itself. And but going 1 for 24, there's nothing like that feeling. Trust me.
No, that's terrible.
That was awful.
That's garbage.
Awful.
Was there. That worked.
You watched that. That was a tough year.
Hey, yo, man, and listen, I was a great lawyer for him, y'all. Like, I was defending. I was like, 1 for 24, if you think about it, you divide it. No, it's still terrible. But listen, you gotta hit me with a long equation so they don't really do the math. They was like, is that your man? Who shot that? I was like, dang. You gotta just put your head down. You gotta just put your head down, man. I mean, he cool people to me, man. I like him.
We all been there, man. We've all been there.
And that is what, I'm from Long Beach, LA area, so I'm a huge Kobe fan. And the mama mentality, when you especially play basketball, you really understand how incredible it was when somebody's like, I went 1 for 24. Nah, I'll go 1 for 30 though. Because the mental aspect to still I'm gonna keep shooting because I believe that much in my shot, and to keep pushing forward, and why people take that that mindset in life, because you're gonna get hit in life. Are you gonna just fold? Because once you quit, it's over. Once you throw in the towel, I'm never gonna shoot again. What happens on the court? If you can't shoot, everyone's what?
Nothing.
Yeah,
you're doing nothing. Yeah.
And let them shoot.
Yep. Yeah. And it gets harder. Yeah, they're playing off a white guy. That shouldn't happen.
They just gone, and then you'll never get opportunity to play any type of minutes ever again. So that is, that's the kind of the biggest thing, and that I wanted to speak about with mentality, and that's why it's incredible that we saw you go through those cold streaks and then no, I can get this. I can get this. It's mental. I gotta get confidence. Is like, how much of the battle? You said 70%.
Around that, I was
70,
just saying.
okay, I like that.
I'd just say a majority of it's mental, yeah.
Confidence. Okay. Is there like do you have like a pregame ritual at all?
I do, yeah. I for at least like a minute, couple minutes before every game, I just like kind of get in my own space and do some meditation with God and just ask Him to help me out there and keep me healthy and stuff like that. And ever since I started doing that, I just started doing that last year before like our first game. I did every single game, but just to like slow down and just take in the moment, and just lock in. I feel like has really helped me just be there in that moment and know God's with me, and the rest was history. Honestly, I played way better just low-key locking in and meditating before each game.
Is there ever, that's good to hear, to take like a reset, especially because like the fans and the pressure. Exactly, and yeah. At times you only have one opportunity to show up. Like that's the game. And if you miss the chance, it's like, oh yeah, no, that it already happened. Like there's nothing you can do to change the outcome.
Yeah, that moment, it comes and goes so fast. So then you're always just thinking about it, like what could I have done? So that's why I try to slow it down before the game and realize what I have in front of me, the opportunities, and I'm going to continue to do that for as long as my career lasts, just because I feel like it really helps me lock in for whatever's next. But
and I will say, one of your teammates, Abu, I can say like I always kind of knew how hard people worked. He was one of the hardest working people that I've like ever been around, just like constantly in the gym, like every moment, every second. And guys, like no matter what you do in life, it's good to take some people just think people's confidence comes from nowhere. And like people kind of mix people with arrogant. And it's like, no, I put the work in. Like I put the time in. Yeah. For you, like how many, especially like when you were teetering, right, in high school, like how much hours during the week did you like actually work? How many shots did you get up? Like how was?
I don't have a specific number, but I'd always try to go in. I still try to do this, like at least get 30 minutes in before practice, and then after stay and get some free throws in, just because. If you're shooting 90% from the free throw line, like my goal last year was 90, I was like 89. But I feel like if you're shooting 90% from the free throw line, it's going to add, 4 to 10 points a game just off free throws if you know how to get fouled. So just being able to make your free throws. And then before practice, I've more started to focus on making difficult shots coming off screens and stuff. But back in high school, I'd work on more like just as many reps I could get, just catch and shoot as many reps I get. Now, obviously, people are trying to guard me differently this year and the year before, so I'm working on more pump fake inside step threes, coming off double screens threes, stuff like that, just on the move, and then obviously just getting reps up as well. So
okay, how would you say is the balance, right, between trying, and I feel like a lot of athletes kind of struggle with this, especially basketball players, right? Especially taller ones. How is it with the balance of developing your game and understanding what role you're asked to provide for the team? Like how is like finding that nuance and getting there, right? Like you may have want to work on your handle, but we need you to spot up threes. We need you to get the spot up threes done, 3-and-D player, or people fit in their role versus what they personally want to do. How is?
Yeah, so within our program, we call it starring in your role, and usually a coach will tell you like, this is what we need you to do, and if you can't do it, then there's going to be someone to replace you. So we try to figure out our roles before the season really gets going, so we can lock it in and know what the coaches need us to do when we go out there. Because if you're trying to do stuff you haven't been doing in practice, you haven't been working on, like
step back one-legged, what kind of shot is that? Have you ever shot that shot? Do you work on that shot?
Working on, like, it's not going to be good for you and it's not going to work. So that's why you try to stay in your lane and provide what the team needs you to provide.
Okay, I like it. How do you view AAU now? Is there a difference from when you played versus now, or how do you look at it?
I mean, I haven't watched much AAU since I've been out of it, but I'm sure it's much harder to go D1. just in this little window, just because of people like me, honestly, 6th year, we got all these 6 years, we got the portal now. So just even coming out of high school in AAU and all that, I feel like it's much harder to go get recruited by a D1 and then get on the court as a freshman, you know? So it's just, it's tough for those high school kids right now. But I don't know much about AAU.
Okay. I
haven't seen it in a while. But.
Okay. Before we get into some, deeper Boise State questions in Idaho, I call it the land of potatoes. My question to you is, and I pose this to like a lot of basketball players, especially. How do you guys view like the trainers? Because nowadays there's John Morant and his dad are famous for like their tire workouts, their training, and like they're kind of old school back in the day. Me and my dad in the garage grinding, versus a lot of people have like these NBA level trainers at like age 8.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, how are the regular kids supposed to really compete? You have like an NBA trainer at 8 and they're getting all these crazy moves and they're being like, they got to play basketball for 24 hours at like 8, like 7. And obviously we all want to strive for our goals, but how do you look at that?
Yeah, I think just taking advantage of those things is huge for kids that can afford to do that, or that have trainers at that age. But just learning the basics at that young of an age would be huge because, I don't think I ever had a trainer like that early, but that's definitely a huge advantage for kids who have that. So.
I just think, like, it's just so messed up. Like, bro's hitting you with a crossover step back at, like, 9. Bro, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know if that's fair, honestly.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Here we go. When you got to Boise State, what was your I'm really in college moment?
I'm really in college moment. Like college basketball or just in college in general?
Let's go in general.
In general? Shoot. Let me think. Let's come back to that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna think of a story.
You got a basketball one for me then?
Basketball?
I'm really here.
Yeah, I just remember practicing as a young freshman, like in practice, just trying to score on college dudes as opposed to how I was scoring in high school, and it's just the biggest change. Just pure strength, like alone, like trying to drive and getting bodied it's night and day. And I just remember one day after practice, I was thinking like, these are some grown men, like. And now looking back on it, now that I'm 24 and freshman, we got young 18-year-old kids coming in the program. I'm like, wow, now I understand. Like, I've been here 6 years. I know what it's like now. And
like grown man strength.
Those are kids versus men.
Those grown man strength.
Mom. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Call for your mama.
People got grown man strength.
For real. And that just shows you, like, what Tyson did as a freshman is just crazy. It's very unique. It's very hard to come in as a high school kid and compete with men in college. So
everyone should be applauded for it. Like, and the level of, like, talent is just so crazy. Like, it's interesting to see a lot of D1 players that maybe aren't in their role, and they'll play, like, regular people, and they turn into Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. And you're like, bro, what's going on with that? Like, skill level is crazy. All right. Next question.
Okay.
What was the biggest culture shock from when you got to Boise?
Culture shock. I don't know yet.
Okay, I'll give you an example. Mine was like, coming from Cali, I'm not going to lie, everything being closed at like 10 was crazy. I was shocked.
That is weird. Yeah.
I was like, what is going on? Everybody's like, why are you still awake? What do you mean, why am I awake? Why are y'all closed? What are y'all
See, it's different for me because I grew up here, though.
Oh, okay.
I was already in the culture, low-key.
Okay, yeah, okay. I will say this. I gotta, man. Oh, man. I don't get the hype how much people love Taco Bell. I stand by that statement.
I love Taco Bell.
I don't care what no one says. The Taco Bell arena is legendary, but people will fight you for Taco Bell. Not even gonna lie to you. It's shocking.
I low-key, that's my favorite place.
Oh, he's dirty. We got him. We got him in 4K. We found the Taco Bell fan. You always got to get him. Do you like Arby's?
No.
Okay.
Not even close.
Allegedly. We're on him. I'm telling y'all, we're not.
You tried to hit me with it quick. No, I don't
We're
think
gonna
I've
get him.
ever been there. Maybe once.
All right. What was your favorite moment playing at BSU?
Favorite moment was probably that senior night last year, just having the sellout crowd. And were you at that game?
Yes.
You were? Yeah, definitely that one. Just the run we made against the top 25 team was pretty surreal, honestly. It's going to be hard to top that senior night this year, but we'll see if it's doable.
Okay. I'm trying to think if I can reminisce about my favorite watching you guys play. Mine was probably the Nevada game versus the Twins, and I think Hobbs hit like a crazy buzzer beater.
Someone hit something to go up, and then I think one of the Twins hit a 3 to retake the lead, and they won.
Oh, I feel like
Cody Martin hit a step back to win, and he was shooting like 20% from 3 on the season.
He did.
And
That was crazy.
from the top of the key for the win.
That was my favorite game. Yo, I'm not going to lie. Shout out Alex Hobbs. I remember he did like a crazy, like, hezzy and then fake bro out, pull up 3, and I was like, oh my gosh. And the crowd went crazy. We was wilding. And I know the year before that, my freshman year, like I said, I know this guy for a while. Chandler Hutchinson doing what he did against SDSU was like
44.
Yeah, that was a crazy. That was a crazy. We have our moments. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We do our thing. We do our thing, and you did your thing last year.
Appreciate that.
So favorite moment, it was senior year last year. Okay, I like to hear that. Was there a moment where maybe the season doesn't start off how you want it to be, right? And that's happened. I want to say not even last year, but the year before. How was the recovery like? Like, how was it? Even though the season doesn't start off well, you guys like keep pushing.
Yeah, that's happened the last 2 years actually. We started 2-4 2 years ago. In my opinion, that was our best year ever. But yeah, we started 2-4 with losses we lost to a bad team that year. What was it? Bakersfield, I think. You remember that?
Yes,
it was so bad. And then we went on a 14-game win streak in the league, and we won the league. So yeah, I think our biggest problem with that was just people didn't know their roles, like what we were talking about earlier. I think we hadn't really molded yet as a team. And that's the biggest difference between what's happened these last 2 years to start the season and what I think is going to happen this year. But, yeah, just being able to develop those roles and stuff like that. But also to just keep pushing. Like, those were some tough times. 2-4 that's not ideal. So just to be able to keep pushing and keep showing up to practice to get better and knowing that we got the talent to start winning games was huge.
How was it like fighting those like bad thoughts, you know, because it's so easy to just be like, man, the season's done. You know, like, man, I'm over it. I don't even want to, and like throw away the year.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest difference between college football and basketball. Like, basketball is the longest season out of any of them. Like, it goes all the way to March, so you have time to turn it around. In football, you lose a game and you're like, yeah, it's gonna be tough. Like, you know, like, especially if you're one of those top teams, like you'll miss the college football playoff. You lose one of those games.
Yeah, it's like every game is basically the Super Bowl. And
pretty much.
Once you mess up, there's no I had a bad night.
Yeah, exactly.
My shoes were untied. Like, yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to hear. All right, we're gonna have some fun now. Let's give them a 30-second quiz.
Okay.
30-second quiz. Halloween edition. And best Halloween candy.
Maybe a little Twix bar, 100-gram bar.
100-gram bar. Okay, you're 45. Best Halloween movie.
Best Halloween movie. What's the one with the dude with the things coming out of
Freddy
his hand?
Krueger?
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
Okay, we got him. Favorite Halloween costume.
I'm gonna be a Meeseeks this year. You know what that is? Next question.
Okay.
He wrote me into it. You know what that's
Get him out of here.
Next one.
Finish the sentence. I am afraid of.
Demonic stuff.
Okay.
That's it?
Yeah. We got another quiz. Oh my gosh, y'all. That was funny. I like that. We can pause the music. Oh my gosh. That was funny. All right, we got some fun questions. Then we'll end off with a quiz at the end. The last quiz is going to be like 7 questions, you know what I'm saying? So that was WS's.
Appreciate it. You say he's 45. Have you ever had a 100-gram bar?
No, it's amazing. No,
Those are so good.
So slept on.
Maybe throw them in the freezer for a second
Yeah,
too, and they get a little crunchy.
Oh, I actually have. I've never. You know what's crazy? Have I ever seen like a full? I've never seen like a full 100-gram bar. I've always seen like the middle, the small ones,
Like the mini ones, yeah.
And I would like, yo, what happened to them? Like who?
Those are so good.
Yeah, W pick. All right, now we're gonna have some fun because this is a fun show for the youth.
I don't think you know what a Meeseek is, by the way.
Is it Mr. Mises?
Yeah.
Isn't Mr. Mises from Adventure Time?
Rick and Morty.
No, Rick and Morty. Mises, Mr. Mises.
The little blue deals.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't think he does.
They attacked each other. They attacked each other.
Yeah, like no, you press the button and then they have to do whatever your command is.
And then at the end, they went crazy against
They
each
went
other.
crazy. Yeah,
They went
okay,
crazy.
you did see that. All right.
Come on, man. I like Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty.
It comes out today, actually.
New season?
The new season comes out today.
Oh, I'm locked in. Rick and Morty. Okay, Rick and Morty or Family Guy?
Rick and Morty.
Wow, that's.
I don't know. I think.
Oh snap! That wasn't even a question. Yo, that's crazy. Family Guy is goated. Hold on. Hold on. We about to square up. Hold on. Y'all disrespected Family Guy. That's crazy. Okay. Rick and Morty or a regular show?
I don't like any of those.
Okay.
Rick and Morty.
Wow, I mean, if you don't like Family, okay, Rick and Morty or South Park?
Yeah, see, I don't like any of those.
Rick and Morty or SpongeBob?
Rick and Morty.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. We gonna ask that on the quiz because we got to get him on camera. Say that again. Rick and Morty or SpongeBob? You got Rick and Morty.
I like SpongeBob, but I don't know.
Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza. Krusty Krab. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? You know, rocking.
It reminded me of Najee, bro. He used to quote SpongeBob all the time.
Are you feeling it now? Wow, you know. The pickles. All right. Wow, you kind of threw me off, y'all. I'm not going to cap to you. I can't believe he. Wow. Okay. All right. Here we go. We're going to have some fun. Question. Would you say athletes are toxic?
50-50.
50-50. Okay.
There's some good ones out there.
There's some good ones out there. Okay. Do you think athletes get a bad reputation in the dating world, especially on the college campus?
For sure.
Okay. That's hilarious.
I'm keeping these answers short, though.
Okay. I like that. I like these answers.
I don't want to explain.
Nah, you don't need to explain. I can say this. He can't. I think a sleeper pick, who I think is more toxic than athletes, I think the frat dudes.
Oh yeah.
I think the frat dudes take the number one pick overall. Would you let your daughter date an athlete?
I'm not gonna have a daughter, so I'll be straight. I'm having straight boys. It's already decided. I'm gonna manifest that. But
If you did.
Nah.
If you did.
We'll see, but there's a.
If you did have a daughter, would you let her date an athlete?
It depends. If you're talking like a Jace Whiting, maybe.
Okay.
But like.
Just a great guy.
Yeah, just like a
He
good
got it
guy.
okay.
He's got good intentions. Take it to church and stuff.
Would you drop to your knee like you're like, oh, not a basketball player?
Depends. I'd have to meet him, see if he's a good guy first.
Okay. We just wanted to have some fun with him. Make a little jokey joke about the seed, man. The seed. So at Boise State, the question is, which of the colors is your favorite? Blue, orange, gray, or black? Actually, which uniform is your favorite?
Which uniform? Probably our new blue ones, just because they fit better than our other ones. Like they just feel like you're gonna hoop in them.
Over the black jerseys?
I don't like the black ones. Wow. As much. I feel like they kind of look like practice uniforms. I like the ones that say Boise State. I think that's a lot tougher than just the logo.
Ooh, okay.
Or like if the logo maybe was bigger or something. I don't know.
I respect it.
Or like something like this would be cool, a little flat gray. I feel like we don't have that. Oh, I think we might get gray this year.
Oh, a little nice little gray jersey. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, hopefully they hear you. You got my vote. I like the black ones, but he the one playing in them. Look good, feel good, do good.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, we rock with it. Is there, question, I like to ask this to all athletes, and I've heard multiple different answers. Is there a bias against athletes in college from teachers?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay.
I think it's probably true though. Like I feel like athletes don't do as good just because they're busy and they don't want to do as good. But I don't know. I've only had that a couple times where I'm like, yeah, this teacher thinks I'm going to do terrible in this class.
Judge the book by its cover already.
Definitely, 100%.
Okay.
I've had teachers say that before. Like walking into I was in a class with a couple of my teammates like 5 years ago, and just the teacher's like, oh no, we got some athletes in here. Like, it's gonna be bad.
Oh, just already put the head down. My like I said, my cousin went to SDSU. My sister went to Cal Berkeley, so they had like this similar experiences because the rumor and everyone's always like, oh, teachers just love the athletes and everyone loves the athletes and they do whatever. But there's also like this negative connotation that teachers are like, they get like a deep exhale. It's like, oh my gosh, like I don't even want to see this dude in my class. And yep, here we go. So I wanted to always ask that, like, get you guys aside, because everyone gets the hype side that, oh, it's just so easy for y'all for school, and they're athletes, so they're getting this treatment and this special treatment. But there's also the times that teachers give y'all negative treatment, like just because of the fact that you're an athlete. So there's already a negative connotation. And how is that being on campus as an athlete, right? Like going between people that are actually want to be your friends because you're who Max is versus being your friend because basketball player Max.
I mean, shoot, I could speak on it the most extreme ways. I would say like my first 3 years, I was like ducking my head like, oh, I don't want these people to see me. Like I had so many haters at Boise State, and now I'm like, everybody wants to be my friend. So it's just weird how just because if a ball goes in a hoop or not, all these people either love me or hate me. It's a really weird thought, like when you really get down to it. But being on this end of it is a lot more fun.
Oh, it's fun now, huh? It's a great time now.
It's awesome. Basketball's so fun.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But yeah, no, you just got to take it with like a grain of salt. Like these people, like they were talking about me terribly a couple of years ago. I mean, it's probably a new generation of students, but still, like, if I wasn't playing well, would they mess with me? And the answer is probably no.
And I think all athletes should. I think it's good to know that basketball or whatever sport you play doesn't define who you are as a person.
Definitely.
Like you're bigger. Like I said, Max the person is real. Like he's a good person. He's a good guy. And a lot of people can get caught up with, oh, I'm basketball player Max. So no matter everything I do on the court now defines me. So if I have a bad game, I'm a bad person. Like now I can't be confident. Now I can't have my swag. Now I can't. Instead of like, yeah, no, I had a bad game, but yeah, no, I'm still Max. Like nothing's changed with me.
Yeah, and I think just like nowadays with Twitter or X or whatever it's called now, just like people will be so caught up in the emotions of the game that they'll just start typing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like even last night, that's a terrible loss or tough loss for the football team, but people just like these people have families. These are like real people, you know. Like I'm sure it's so easy to go on your phone and just start typing stuff, but at the end of the day, like these are real people, and it can be tough sometimes. Sports can be tough, so it's good to cut some people some slack occasionally. But
I get what you're saying. Especially like you're saying your freshman, sophomore, even now, like how is it gauging who to put around you, right? Like because it's I've known you for a while, so but how is it gauging and like trusting people, like you said, like who just want to be your friend because of now you're good or whatever's going on with you versus the people that like actually are good, and like how is it trusting?
Yeah, I mean, you got to do it both with your friends and in the business side of it. Like you got people DMing me all the time trying to be my agent, trying to be my workout guy, trying to do this. So you just got to be careful, like who you surround yourself with and who really wants the best for you, and not just trying to get like their own benefits out of you, and just use you. But especially with your friends too. You want to have guys that have been there with you and they know you, and no matter what happens at the end of the day, they'll be there for you.
Okay. What's the best advice you would give to young Max, freshman Max?
Oh, that's a good question. I probably would just say, just stick with it, honestly, because there were times when I almost did not stick with it and just did what everyone else did, and when things get tough, enter the transfer portal. But just having my mom there for me was a big part of me kind of pushing through those years where I didn't think I even belonged here anymore, and especially getting all that hate through some of those tough times. I was like, do I really think this is worth it, and can I break through? Like, will Leon ever believe like that I'm that dude, like that I could be that dude? And
Your own dad, which is like a
makes it harder.
weird thing.
I just remember one time after one of those seasons, I came up to him like, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave after this year. I actually told him that, like, I think I'm gonna leave. I don't think you'll ever see me as like a starter or someone that can make a major impact in this program. And I think he said something like, no, you got to stay. We need a ball mover. And I should have left that day.
Oh,
I should
wow.
have left that day.
We need a ball mover.
I think he said, no, we need a guy. We need a ball mover, something like that. And I was always like, yep, that should tell me enough right there. But
and no further questions, bro.
Instead of pouting, though, I think I gotten back in the gym and said, all right, he doesn't think I can do it, so I'm going to do it. And I did it. So, and I think this year will be even better, too, because I'm feeling a lot more healthy than I was last year. Even I had a lot of problems last year with my back, and this year I'm feeling pretty healthy, so that's good.
Hater energy like helps build you, man. And you know, he made a jokey joke about the transfer portal, but it's tough that, you know, like you said, he's stuck with it. And it's interesting that when we get to those moments, those times, those big events where you're so close to something, but catastrophe hits right before. And it's so easy to stop. But like I said before, once you stop, like, that's the final chapter. Mm-hmm. And there's no changing whatever happens. And I always tell people this: the worst thing you ever want to be is a coulda, shoulda, woulda person. And you don't want to be 30-something years old, like, dang, what if I would have stayed? What if I should have stayed, I would have stayed, or I could have been this, I could have been that. And there's so many, not even just athletes, but everybody that look back on their youth and they're like, man, I wish I should have this, or if I could have, if I would have, I should have.
Yeah. And
it's the worst feeling in the world. And, you know, those are always, people call them the uncles or aunties at Thanksgiving that tell their stories. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, I ain't trying to hear that, man.
And I think that's why I ended up staying at Boise, just because I feel like if I would have left, I would have just felt like another guy at another university, you know? Like, at Boise, I got blood, sweat, tears in this program that I feel like I've been on the uphill, like, grind to build this program to where it is. And I've done things like, we wanted to win the Mountain West. We won the Mountain West. We wanted to get over that tournament hump and win some games in the Mountain West tournament. We did that. Now the next step is to win a couple games in the NCAA tournament. And I feel like if we do that, then everything I wanted to achieve at Boise, then I feel like I can really say I left it all out there.
I like that because, you know, especially because me coming at, like, I used to work for Boise State Bronco Shop, where we get all this great stuff.
Shout out to Bronco Shop.
Facts, BoiseStateBroncoShop.com. It is sensational. I worked there, and we, especially like freshmen, you know, all the people on visits would come, obviously show them the gear and all that. And I would always have like multiple conversations with different athletes. And I would always tell them that whatever decision you make, whether you want to come to the Great Blue Turf, Boise State, Taco Bell Arena when it was called that, Extra Mile Arena now, right?
Correct.
Know that no matter what happens, you're going to have challenges. But when you get here, you're kind of here now. Mm-hmm. And the funny part about everything is even if you do hit the transfer portal, the same problem you went against always will find you. You run into the same exact situation. And
True.
It's the same challenge. So what are you going to do? Are you going to run away from it then? Or are you going to conquer it then? And now I'm not to say that the transfer portal is not good at all, because some people's situations are bad. We just saw, if anybody knows, the quarterback for Washington that beat Oregon, he had a huge moment. Like, he transferred, he had a lot of injuries and X, Y, and Z. But you'll be hit with adversity. Mm-hmm. Understand that same adversity will come in a different form and come straight to you. And you'll have to pass the test. Mm-hmm. So you might as well get the test out the way. Yeah. You might as well hit the test right then and there. And, I mean, you feel he's getting the benefits right now. Like, and you just move different knowing that you can. Once you know you can, that's like the hardest.
I think, yeah, there's that moment where you're like, if it hits you again, you're like, wait a second. You start looking in the mirror and like, it might not be this, it might be me, you know. But
I like that.
just getting through that, you know, it's huge.
I'm asking with the man in the mirror. Man, he felt it. Everyone feels that, man. So we're gonna hit him with another quiz because we're asking him all these great questions. Yeah,
Oh, the music's
I like
back.
the music. I like the music. I like the music. This is more of
Is this time, sir?
Yeah, this is time. This is time. I kind of, when he said the Mises, it kind of took me out. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. All right, here we go. We got. Let me look. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I failed Spanish, yo. Took sign language. Okay, yeah. We're gonna have fun.
Right.
All right. So the first 3 will be 1 is gone forever.
Okay.
So it will be like forever changed to something else.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yep.
All right. Once I finish the question, Dylan, you know what to do. All right. 1 is gone forever. The Boise State Bronco or the Blue Turf?
Oh, the Bronco for sure.
Call of Duty or 2K?
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
2K.
2K's gone. Call of Duty stays. Call of Duty or Fortnite?
Fortnite's gone.
Oh, we know where he is. Which is better, dunking on someone, making them fall, or crossing somebody, making them fall?
Which one's better?
Yes.
Probably crossing and making them fall, but you got to make the shot though.
Okay. He got to make the shot. All right, Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
If you had to choose one candy corn or Almond Joys?
Neither.
That's the great answer. He is locked in. Best horror film is?
Best horror film. I already did that.
Oh, yeah. My fault. We gonna end it. He was locked in. I ain't gonna lie. W answer. I set him up for failure. And he said
Candy
neither.
corn or Almond Joy is crazy.
Neither. He's tapped in.
I'm not that old, bro. Come on.
W answers. I'm so glad he said Call of Duty Fortnite. W answer. I'm so happy you said that. That was Call of Duty for the dub. No Fortnite. Fortnite is trash.
I made up for my last quiz, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure. I forgot I asked you the best horror film already. My fault. Yeah, great answers. Let's go back. He said the Bronco gotta go, gotta keep the Blue Turf. Call of Duty 2K. 2K is gone. Call of Duty Fortnite. Fortnite is gone. Gotta cross him over, make the shot. If you had to choose candy corn or Almond Joys, he said neither. Those are fire. Oh, is that actually Xbox or PlayStation?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Xbox.
Oh, yeah. Yo, you were knocking it out the park. I ain't gonna lie to you. Those are all W answers.
6 for 6 there, I think.
I'm gonna throw the applause on. All right. I'm gonna wrap up this great interview. Ask him one last question. How important and how hard is it to maintain academics as an athlete? And speak on that.
That's a great question. I think ever since I graduated, it's become a lot harder. I open my computer, I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Just because when I feel like when you're working towards graduating, you're like, yeah, I'm actually working towards something. Yeah. But I didn't want to work towards my master's just because I might be a GA after I'm all said and done somewhere. But yeah, so I'm basically taking classes just to stay eligible. It's tough, but okay. I think I got a midterm tonight.
Oh, wow.
In some leadership or something.
Thank you for coming here.
Yeah.
We'll pray for you. How was the playing through COVID? Like, how was the COVID time? Because that is a historic moment in the world.
I mean, it wasn't nearly as fun without fans. That was one of my better seasons, before we brought in a guy at semester, just because I was making shots and stuff. And you don't have to worry about the crowd noise and all that. So, I mean, I liked it. But it was definitely, I think, harder playing with no fans just because it's hard to – I like feeding off the energy of our fans. But it was a hard time just because even when you play on the road, you can't really go out. You got to be extra careful because if you get COVID, say you're in San Jose and you get COVID, you're stuck there for 14 days, and it just sucks, especially when you're trying to do school and all this. So it was nice to get that extra year, though, obviously, and I think that'll really pay off for me coming up here this year.
Okay. And, you said after your career, everything's said and done, when everything's finished, you want to go into coaching. What made you make that decision?
Just kind of seeing it, and I think it's one of the things I'm good at. Just I feel like I feel like I could be a good coach right now, just from growing up around it and seeing what works and what doesn't, and that kind of stuff. And it's just what I know. I feel like it's something I feel comfortable with doing, and it's one of the only things I feel like I'm really good at. So
okay. And the last question I want to ask, because you're going into this coaching field, right? And I like asking this to everyone that's a trainer, coaches. I'm friends with a lot of different people. How is are you gonna be ready for when you get into the moment of understanding that not everyone's gonna make it? How is that? Have you thought about that at all, and like how you're gonna tackle that, or like what's your view on that? Because every kid's dream is to make the league, go D1, but obviously reality.
Yeah, my thing is just like I'm going to leave it all out there this year, and whatever happens, happens. If I don't make it, I'm going to know that I did everything I could to make it. And that's kind of how I attack every day, just with my workouts and lifting and just trying to get better. And I think I've done a good job maximizing what I have to work with. And I think just keep it pushing and see where life takes me. And I'm down for the ride wherever I end up. I think I'm meant to be there. So
I like that you said like what God gave me, and like, because it's so easy, especially in sports, right? You get caught up judging yourself with everybody else. Mm-hmm. So, like, you're like, man, I wish I was, 6'7", 6'8".
Exactly.
Jumping out the gym, with a 55-inch vert. Like, yeah, this guy has this guy has that. Instead of like, nah, what do I got? This is what I got, so we're going to work with it. And then just, can you beat me at my 100%?
Yeah.
If you can beat me at my 100%, I'll shake your hand. But if you can't, well, we're going to find out. And to end off, it's so interesting, too, because the hardest thing to accept outside, just in life, is failure. And failure or losing when you do go 100% and you don't get the outcome you wanted. Mm-hmm. And that's always hard to recover because there's no excuse. It's just a straight truth that you have to accept. And I think I had a problem too. Like, I wouldn't work hard because some things came naturally good to me, but I was so worried about failing that it kind of set in for me a little bit, and it would hurt more. So I'd be like, I want the excuse of, I didn't work that hard. I was off that day. Like I didn't really train. I could have did better, but mm-hmm. So it's good to hear that you're like, I'll go 100% and live with the outcome regardless. So.
Absolutely. And I think just kind of going back to what you were just talking about, comparison, I feel like goes hand in hand with jealousy. And like back when I was younger in college, I would compare like, why does this guy get this many minutes? Why does he get this, that? And when I compared to what I was getting to other people, I would just get jealous and why don't I get that, and feel sorry for myself. And if you could just accept like what you have to work with and what you're getting is you'll be a lot more content with your life and what you're gonna do. So
yeah, that's good, because I feel like, especially on a basketball court, because football teams have like 450 people.
True.
Yeah, everybody and their mama is on the team. Like uncles, step cousins. It's a family reunion over there. So on the basketball court, like the minutes are like crunched to like a certain group, so egos are even more out, and it's hard to manage. So it's so easy to get into like, man, I want those minutes, or mm-hmm. I can be, instead of like just fully support. And that is managing your ego and not being mad. And I call it my mentor, one of my mentors, he was a baseball trainer, trained a couple of D1 athletes that are actually all in the league. Some are in the league too, MLB. I had to not feel sorry for yourself. Are people even qualified haters? And when I say a qualified hater, do you even put the same amount of work and effort that person put into? Like the actual work, like the hours that's in, because people always just see the end result. Mm-hmm. They don't see the behind. So if you're not even working like 8 hours in the gym a day, getting shots up like you or working out, how can they be mad at your success? Where I'm like, are you even a qualified hater? Because did you put the work in and then didn't get, if you did get a for sure different outcome. Obviously, it's like, all right, I get why you a little resentful because it's like, yeah, no, at that point, God-given abilities happen. Mm-hmm. But you don't even you didn't even put as many shots up as me. Mm-hmm. Why are you mad?
That reminds me of a time when I was playing with your boy Abu, and my boy, he's dope. But I just remember like one time in practice, he was like, "Yeah, you got to give me the ball. Like I work on this shot. I'm in the gym more than anyone in here." Yeah. And I was like, thought for a moment, I was like, he's right. He works more than anyone I've ever seen. So I'm like, I'm fine if he misses that shot, but he deserves to shoot that shot. So I mean, that kind of talks about what you're talking about. Just he really put in the work, and he deserved those reps.
And we see how it worked out. You guys had a March Madness berth. He went crazy.
Bad matchup with Memphis, but dang, that was a good team.
You almost had like a crazy comeback. That was
right there. We were right there.
Wild game, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, to everybody out there, athletes and just regular people, man, never quit. Always, we're our biggest critics, usually. So once we overcome our mental hurdle, no matter what anyone says, you can always overcome it.
Wow, this became a TED Talk.
Yeah,
I like
man,
it.
Man.
I like it.
Yeah, man,
I'm inspired. I'm going to go shoot.
You inspired me. You like, your dad told me that, and I still did what I did. Like, dang. Because it even hit harder when it's like someone you obviously love, look up to. It's like, dang. And you still were like, nah, I'm confident in my abilities and myself. Even with you saying that, I'm going to stay. Watch, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong. And you never, even though the voices were real of like the low point, you overcame that. And a lot of people think like being courageous, right? You only have courage because you were afraid. That's why it makes you brave and courageous, because you are afraid. So it's like, I did it anyway, though. Yeah, there's all these things around me, but I did it anyway, so I'm confident in my ability. So
you're spitting.
We have a good time here. Shout out Max, man. Any last thoughts? Anything you want to say to the people?
No,
man?
I just want to say thanks for having me. Shout out the Bronco Shop. It's been a great little podcast here, and tune into my guy Neil. He's a really good podcast host, and I'm glad to be here.
Oh man, my guy.
Yes, sir, boy.
And we out.